Tavares. Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Rielly! Mo Rielly! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Alright guys, welcome back to the Buzz Mafia channel. We're back with part 2 of our Draft What-If series. Last time we did the Atlantic Division, which is probably my most watched YouTube video, which was awesome. Almost reached 500 views. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Got some good responses. I think basically all the responses was Montreal fans, as I expected. But honestly, it wasn't as heated. It honestly they made a lot of sense. So basically, I said for the Draft What-If series, basically the Draft What-If series is what I'm doing is I'm going through each division. Last week was the first one, the Atlantic Division, and basically talk about some recent drafts. I don't want to go too far into it, so 15 years max around that time, and picks that they maybe regret, and a pick that a few moments later or a few picks later would have really helped that team a lot more. And not necessarily, I don't want to do a player they drafted 20th overall, and then this guy in the 6th round became a stud, because that means every team kind of fucked that up, right? So I'm looking at the player who was drafted a certain pick in the 1st round, and then a few picks later, maybe max 10 picks later, would have really helped this team instead. So not really going too far, the 5th, 6th, 7th, these studs, because that means every team kind of fucked up. So last week, obviously, we did Atlantic Division. And I did Montreal, obviously, and I said Cooley over Slafkovsky, because I think Montreal is one of their main concerns, even though they're buzzing right now, is second-line center. Getting Logan Cooley along with Nick Suzuki would be one of the best center cores in the league. Montreal fans defended Slafkovsky. I like Slafkovsky. I think their argument was very fair. He's a very good fit for that line with Caulfield Suzuki, big body, can retrieve, great at puck retrieval and everything. I get that. I think you can find a player like that maybe in free agency or via trade. I don't think it's worth of a 1st overall pick. Definitely not saying he's a bust. I think people are overreacting with that statement, but maybe not worth the 1st overall pick. And I don't know. I like the word fit sometimes in a team, but also I like potential a lot too. And I think Logan Cooley can become like a Jack Hughes type of player. Fit always is better than potential, not in all cases, but in this case, or at least last case, I would have chosen Logan Cooley. But I completely understand all the comments, and it was a great feedback as well. But this week we are going into the Metropolitan Division, and some of these are brutal, as it was meant to be. We've got busts, near misses, and a couple just some former dynasties that could have been even longer, basically, right? So let's get into this, the Metropolitan Division. Let's get started. Before we get started, guys, please comment, like, subscribe of the Buzz Mafia channel here. We're at 52 subscribers. I'd love to get to 100 by the new year. We're a new podcast, trying new things, new channel, trying new things, and we've gotten great feedback, so please show some love. Comment, like, subscribe, and now let's get into the video. We're going to start with New Jersey, one of the hottest teams in the league right now. I think they're second in the Metro behind Pittsburgh. Who would have fucking thought? We're going to make it quick. In 2020, they drafted Alexander Holtz, 7th overall, a player who at the time I really liked the fit, a right-wing sniper, eventually be down the wing of Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier. He's not even in New Jersey anymore. He's had 46 points in 169 games, now playing in Vegas. It just hasn't been a good career for him. And a player who was drafted a 13th overall just a few picks later, a player who I think would be incredible on this team. He's making moves over in Carolina, and that's Seth Jarvis. 224 points, consistent 30-goal guy, plays both ends, has performed in playoffs, 4 Nations guy. And I think he's having a great start to the year, point-per-game player. I think we're getting to the conversation of maybe a superstar-type player. He is great two-way game. Him and Hischier on a PK or any other line would be a torture chamber. I really like him. Great in the locker room. Obviously, guys love him. The media loves him, everything. I think that could have been an incredible pick for New Jersey, a defensive forward who also can play on a line like Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier. So big miss there. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this one we're going to have to go back quite a bit because Pittsburgh has been so competitive for the past, 2 decades, really. So they haven't had many first-round picks. And some of the first-round picks haven't been too bad. But we're going to go back to 2014. The Penguins took Kasperi Kapanen, 22nd overall. Solid, great career. What could you ask for? 500-plus games, 200-ish point, good speed. Bounced around the league, obviously played with the Leafs as well. But 3 picks later, and we talked about him last year, potentially going to Tampa if there was a miss with Tampa, but that's David Pastrnak. 850 points, Rocket winner, 3 straight 100-point seasons. He's on a horrible team, still getting it done. I mean, we're talking about a potential Hall of Fame type player. Going to be over 1,000 points soon in the next few years. And again, this is 2014, and I can't remember when Pasternak's rookie season was, but he kind of came out of the gate hot. And Pittsburgh won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 2016-17, and maybe it would have made it a lot easier if David Pastrnak on the team. Maybe Washington doesn't slay the dragon in 2018, right? And Pastrnak, maybe Crosby has more points. Maybe Pastrnak has a lot more points than he does right now. I know he's on a great Boston team too, but we're talking about an even better dynasty than Pittsburgh already was if they would have chosen David Pastrnak. Now we're going to Carolina, and this one's a tough one. I know Carolina fans may be iffy on this one, but I'm sure when they hear it, they'd understand. In 2018, Carolina drafted Andrei Svechnikov 2nd overall. I mean, great player, 20 goals a year, good playmaker, battles injuries, big body. Again, misses games, but when he's on his game, he's a great kind of power forward, but also sniper, but again, misses a lot of games, maybe inconsistency. And again, Carolina's been a top dog for a long time, but they've been in the conference finals I don't know how many years and just can't get it to the final dance. And what I think a lot of people are saying is what they miss is some grit, some kind of sandpaper, some toughness. They're a small team with speed. It can score off the rush, great defensively. But I think they're needing a little bit more of that character, a little bit more of that sandpaper, like I said. And one of the best players in the league right now was picked 2 picks later, and that's Brady Tkachuk. I mean, 400-plus points, one of the best power forwards in the league. Captain material, grit, leadership. Bridamore's dream player I'm sure he could have on his team. Exactly what Carolina doesn't have enough of. Brady Tkachuk on the Carolina Hurricanes would just be, I mean, they'd likely have a Stanley Cup, in my opinion, if they would have made that move. Now we're going to the Washington Capitals. The Caps go with Ivan Miroshnichenko. I can't even pronounce that name. Sorry, but Iron Miro, I'll call him, in 2022. That's 20th overall. I think preseason he was ranked like in the top 5, maybe even 2nd overall, but he had some injuries, maybe dealing with stuff in Russia during COVID and everything. 10 points in 39 games, decent in the AHL, but just not great. And this one's tough because, honestly, again, same thing with Pittsburgh. They haven't had many first-round picks, and a lot of the picks they've done pretty well. I mean, Connor McMichael, late first-rounder, Ryan Leonard. So they've had some decent picks in at least the last 10-ish years. So I'm going to go with one recent because of the potential of this player. And 5 picks later after Miro was Sam Rinzel. 8 points in 20 games this season so far. A Calder, I wouldn't say Calder favorite, Calder candidate, but preseason definitely up there, and he's on a hot Chicago team right now. I mean, a right-handed, smooth skating defenseman can take over John Carlson when his career is done. They could have had potentially a franchise defenseman if Sam Rinzel pans out. Instead, they got a solid prospect who they're still waiting on. Like I said, this one's tough because early on, and this could absolutely just end up being a bust. But as of right now, the potential of Sam Rinzel is through the roof, and Miro just hasn't gotten it done. Now we're going to go a little bit way back because Columbus, again, has had some solid draft history with, Werenski, St. Jean, Pierre-Luc Dubois, but when he's on his game, when he was in Columbus, he was a solid player. But we're going back to 2013. Columbus takes Kerby Rychel at 19. 43 career games. That's it. 7 picks later, Shea Theodore goes at 26. Stanley Cup champ, 350-plus points. Legit top-tier D-man. Played for 4 nations. It's just one of those ones where maybe Columbus would have maybe had some more success. And I mean, I'm not saying Shea Theodore's a top 10 D-man. I think NHL.com ranked him 15th going into the season. Werenski as your top left-handed shot defenseman on your team. Who knows? Maybe Panarin's still there. Maybe they go on another run. Maybe they have a better future. You never know. But yeah, that one definitely stinks. The next one, this one's tough because about injury, and I feel horrible for the guy, but the Philadelphia Flyers, in 2017, they take Nolan Patrick, number 2. They're supposed to be their franchise center. Just injuries derailed him. Concussion after concussion, just horrible situation. 77 career points, only 3 seasons in the NHL. It's just a tough situation. And then what makes it even more tough, 2 picks later, Cale fucking Makar. I mean, there's not much else to say. Calder winner, 2-time Norris Trophy winner, likely going to be a 3-time Norris Trophy. He's on a ridiculous tear this season. He's likely going to score 30 goals and 100 points as a defenseman. Conn Smythe, Stanley Cup, looking for another one. Already one of the best defensemen ever. Modern day Bobby Orr. That's just generational pain right there for Flyers fans. All right, we're going to end this here with the 2 New York teams, starting with the Rangers. This one may stir some controversy, but honestly, I think it's a no-brainer. In 2020, first overall pick, a team who was honestly a solid team, was in the play-in, or at least the bubble. They win the first overall pick. They're getting the next Sidney Crosby from Rimouski, Alexis Lafrenière, first overall pick. And he's been fine. 200-ish points, definitely up to expectations. I know a big contract, just hasn't really filled it out. Showed some moments in playoffs in the years past, But you really, when you're deemed the next Crosby or next superstar, you got to be more than just fine. I mean, and a player who I hate playing against as like a Leaf fan and everything, but that's Tim Stützle, 2 picks later at number 3. He's already the first guy in points from that draft class, 340 points already, franchise center, pure dynamite. And I mean, they went to the conference finals, I believe, twice or just the one time. And I mean, they almost got it done. And if you maybe swap out Lafrenière for Tim Stützle, dynamic offensive player playing with Panarin on the power play and everything, maybe they got Stanley Cup on Broadway, but instead they got hopefully the next Crosby, but it's looking like just an average top 6 forward. Next, we got the New York Islanders, and then we're going to end it off there. Back in 2016, the Isles took Kieffer Bellows at 19. 32 points total, complete bust. I remember watching him in World Juniors when I think it was in Buffalo, and he had one of the craziest shots I've ever seen. He could absolutely wire the puck, a power forward, big, strong, and I thought he was really going to make it in the NHL, but just hasn't worked out. And 7 picks later, again, we talked about this guy last episode or last video, Tage Thompson. I mean, not much else to say. 334 points, 50 goal scorer potentially, 47 goal career high, 180 goals, 6'6" sniper, just a total package. Yeah, Buffalo fans love him. Islanders fans wish they could have had him. And yeah, thanks for tuning in this video, guys. I'm trying to make these shorter videos for you because the last one did very well. I mean, I already have 52 subscribers and almost got 500 views. This is awesome. Please check out the Buds Mafia podcast. I make these smaller videos because if you see our TikToks, which go follow Buds and Pucks on TikTok, X, Instagram, all that. If you like what we do and you go to us on Spotify or YouTube, and you see, an hour and a half podcast, I understand it's hard to get into. I completely get that. So I want to make these shorter form video, kind of show you what I'm like, show you the content I like to create, and maybe you'll check out the podcast. But I highly recommend you doing so. We talk Leafs, Bills. When golf's back on, we talk about golf and it's everything in between. We love sports betting and all that degeneracy stuff. So please comment, like, subscribe on this video. Next week, we're going to be talking about the Central Division. Let me know if you think I'm a clown on all my takes. If you think I'm right up there, maybe something I missed, let me know. Also, as you can see, I'm growing a mustache. I didn't want to do the traditional November, as if I would have shaved this on November 1st, November 30th, it wouldn't look that much different. So I thought, let's just keep it through the whole November. We started a Movember page. I'll put the link in below. Me and Jackson, we are training for the Toronto Marathon. We're trying to get in shape as we are not in the best shape. So what we're doing is every $20 raised, we will do 1 kilometer run in either Leafs gear for myself or Bill's gear for Jackson. So please donate. It's for a great cause. And please comment, like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for the Draft What If Central Division and the next podcast, which drops on Wednesday. See you guys later.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year!